sales tax. Now, when we start getting into the world of consumer arithmetic and dealing with money, such as hire purchase, we'll have to become familiar with tax and what tax is. Now, sales tax, commonly known as value added tax, you would see it as VAT. You'd hear it referred to as VAT. Right? V for value, value added tax. This is a portion of money added on to items in stores that they would have to give to the government. So we were dealing with a chair set, and a chair set cost $500. Normally, a store would add on some small amount of money, say $20, to this $500, and you would see a price. You won't see $500 displayed. You would see $520 displayed. The additional $20 is the tax that is added to the price. This price is displayed in the store. $20 goes to the government. This is known as tax. I was simplified, I just gave you the value here. But normally, tax is added as some percentage in problems that we're given. Some percentage taxes be added on as. Now, the percent in the real world, the percentage is determined by the government. I think Guyana is 14%. Other Caribbean countries would be 15%. I'm not sure. But they basically, a tax is a standard value added on. There's a way to calculate the amount of money added on to an item. Now, what does this mean when we say 14% tax VAT? I'll refer to it as VAT. 14% VAT. And we'll cover terms as VAT inclusive, and when the price doesn't include VAT yet. We get into those later. Now, what does it mean 14% VAT tax? 14% tax. Now, a business or anything purchased for, so say a good is $1,000. A company purchases something for $1,000. This is known as the cash price, right? You pay $1,000 for this thing. This with or the company pays $1,000. This is the cash price, and before VAT is added. Now, normally the cash price is before VAT is added. Before the companies put these things into stores, this is the price they had paid for the item. Now, when they purchase this item for $1,000, they have to add on 14% VAT. Right? Now, the law behind certain items require VAT, others don't. But you won't get into that. That's another thing. Now, for now, we'll say that all the goods the company purchased, they need to add on 14% VAT. But 14% of what? 14% of what they had paid for the item. So a company purchased, we use a chair in for $1,000. They now have to add on 40% VAT to this item. So it's the $1,000 plus 14% of the $1,000. Whatever's the cash price for the item, they have to add 14% of it, 40% of whatever they pay for the $1,000, and add it to the $1,000. This then becomes $1,000 plus 14%. We basically doing the assessor. 14% already known as 14 divided by 100 times the $1,000. This then further breaks down to $1,000 plus $140. $1,140. This price is now known as a VAT inclusive price. And this is the price you normally see in stores. or the marked price. The marked price is normally VAT inclusive. They don't show you all it, but the prior price is normally VAT. This would be the marked price. After VAT is included, hence the name VAT inclusive. Inclusive meaning that okay, VAT is already added on to the price you see. Now after the VAT is added on, this now becomes the marked price. So recapping, the chair set, right? The company purchases the chair set for $1,000. This $1,000 is known as the cash price. This is the amount of money that the company has paid for it, the cash, right? Paid cash. This is VAT exclusive. Inclusive means to include, exclusive, exclude, leave out. Exclusive comes from the word exclude, which means to leave out or is not there yet. The cash price normally doesn't have VAT yet, hence it's VAT exclusive. VAT excluded or not. VAT now has to be added to your cash price to give you the the marked price here, right? And then VAT is normally 14%. But in problems, you will be given the percentage VAT they would normally give you. They would give you, right? But we just use 14% in this example. 14% of what? 14% of whatever the cash price is added onto it, right? $1,000 plus 14% of $1,000. So if the price was $2,000, it would be 14% of 2,000, and vice versa. Whatever the cash price is. Now, problems would normally say, call it, literally call the cash price. Some problems would say it's a VAT exclusive price, or they would say this was purchased for this much and VAT was not included as yet. The words change, they use phrases, statements, it all means the same thing. You just read between the lines and try to figure out which price doesn't have VAT as yet. And that's the price you're working with. Cash price plus 40% of the cash price. It's broken down further. This is the VAT inclusive price, which is normally displayed in stores. This is normally the marked price. Marked price, I give it this name because this is what you would have to use in the simple interest problems. Sorry, high purchase problems. We'll now work an example. Forgive my handwriting. But the price of a washer without VAT is $3,473. Calculate the price of the washer to a customer inclusive of VAT. I did not write it here, but they said the VAT is 15%. Right? Now, it already tells you this is the price without VAT. Right? 3,000. Now, the VAT inclusive price would be their cash price plus 15% of said price, right? So broken down further. $3,473 broken down further plus, and if put that in calculator, you should get $520.95. Adding those two together now should give $3,993.95. And this is basically all there is to VAT. Now, we have been working, so far this example and the problem I did before, we used a price that did not include VAT, and then we had to add on VAT. But what about if the problem gives you a price that already has VAT and then asks you to find out what the cash price is. We'll now go on to problems like that. So we use this example. Now a television costs $2,200. This is the mark price, right? But this is the VAT inclusive price, right? It costs this, and but this price is VAT inclusive. The VAT is 10%. What is the price before VAT, right? Now some problems would say before VAT, some problems say the VAT exclusive price, but it all means the same thing. You just have to use the knowledge, your reasoning, and be able to determine what exactly they really want. Before VAT, VAT exclusive price, cash price, all those things mean the same thing. Now, before I go on to like explain the whole calculation process behind it, I want to see if I can make it simpler with just a scenario. Now, if I had 100 oranges, hopefully this scenario makes sense. 100 oranges, and I decided to increase these oranges by 20. I took 20 more and I increased my oranges by 20. Everything we're dealing with is oranges. So in the end, I have 120 oranges. Because we didn't add, if it was 20 bananas, we couldn't say we had 120 oranges. We're dealing with the same thing, so we can add them together, 120 oranges. Right? Now I'll replace oranges to make it a little more algebra-ish. I'll replace oranges with X. Right? We said let oranges be represented by X. Right? To make it a little more mathematical. 100x plus 20x is 120x. Because it's the same thing we're dealing with, oranges x, 20 of the orange x, and we add together, we now have 120x. Before was 100x, 100 oranges. After we added on our thing we increased it by, we now have 120x. Now, to bring percentages into it, I'll now increase it further. We're still dealing with the 100 oranges, right? We're dealing with 100x. Now, instead of saying I want to increase my oranges by 20, I can also say I wanted to increase. Alright, let me 100 oranges. A more complex way, or a more business oriented way of saying I wanted to increase my already 100 oranges. I'll write this back just so. By 20 oranges, you would hear I want to increase my oranges by 20%. I want to increase it by 20%. Right? I want to increase what I already have by 20%. 20% of what I already have, right? Increasing it by 20% of what I already have. 100 oranges. No. 20% of what I already have would be 20 over 100 times the amount of oranges I have here. Right? 20% of my 100 oranges is the same thing as 20. Right? So increasing Basically this, adding 20 oranges to my already existing bag of 100, it's the same thing as increasing 100 oranges by 20%. I hope you're still following. Now, I'll go a bit further. Continuing, it's the same as 100 oranges increased by 20% of 100 oranges. That's what I just explained. Hopefully I didn't lose you there. Increased by, see, adding 20 oranges is the same thing as 100 oranges increased by 20% of 100 oranges. Now I'll put x back into our equation. Now instead of oranges, alright, instead of increase, I put plus. It'd be 100 oranges, is the same thing. 20% of 100x. Now I'll just erase this, hopefully. This then breaks down to 100x plus 20x. Right? Remember we just broke this down here, 20% of 100, which gives us the same thing as 120x. Now why did I say all of this? Hopefully you've seen a few. Hopefully this here simplified. When I go through the explanation of calculating it simplifies it. What we had before, when somebody says you give 100%, it means you give your all, right? If I have an entire pizza, sorry to breaking off from there, without anybody taking a slice, this is 100% of the pizza. It means everything is there, right? Everything. This is what we had. This is what we had before. Nothing has changed from it. This is our whole pizza. This is 100% of the pizza. Similarly, I'll use that. Oh shucks. This concept here. 100 oranges is what we had before. This is our whole. Before we add, forget about what we added on for now. 100 oranges is 100% of what we contain. We have 100 oranges. We didn't take away anything from it. This is 100%. This is the original. This is everything we had. 100%. Right? Going back to the pizza. This is 100%. Now, if I have an identical pizza, but somebody come and give me a half of a pizza. This is the same. Say this is a barbecue chicken pizza. Somebody else has an identical barbecue chicken pizza, but they give me half. And we know half of the percent is 50. Now, added to what we initially had, we have an additional 50. We can't say we have 100% pizza. We now have an additional, now we have 150% of a pizza, of a barbecue pizza, because now this 50% somebody gives us increases what we have. The similar concept here. We have 100% of oranges. 20% of 100 oranges, we just calculate was 20 oranges. Somebody come and give us 20 oranges. Somebody basically come and give us 20%. Hopefully this doesn't lose it. Of the total we had. So using the same concept, let me erase it. Imagine this is a bowl of oranges, right? A bowl of oranges with 100 in it. Right? This is 100% of what we had. Now somebody comes and give us 20 oranges. Hopefully that's a loser. An additional 20%. So now we had 100% before. When we add up how much we had before with what is given, we now have 120% of oranges. We have a whole and we have something additional to that whole. Remember, wholes, one thing is normally referred to as 100%. Right? You have a whole thing, it's not 100% of the thing. Anything additional to that, you have to add it to this. So now it has 120%. We use a piece here. Similarly, you can use a pie. If you have a pie, right? If this is a pie, an apple pie, and instead of 50%, somebody no, must be important. It must be the same thing. Barbecue pizza, somebody can give you a quarter of a barbecue, the same identical barbecue pizza. A quarter is 25%. We deal with percentages because it's percentages we deal with in the task. 25%. What you had before plus what is added on is 125%. Why am I saying all of this? Now before I get to here, I'll erase it here. Recall what VAT is. Previously, we dealt with, I think it was $1,000 item. Right? $1,000 item. This is what it cost. This was 100% what we paid for, right? This is the price. Before anything is added to this 120%. We then had to add in a VAT of 15%. But remember, it was 15% of exactly what was our cost, what was our cash price. Just like how we got 100% of a barbecue pizza, 25% of that exact barbecue pizza is the same thing here. It was 15% of that $1,000. So the whole is what we had before, $1,000. Now we had to increase that by 15%, and it gave us $1,150. Or we could have said it was our 100% plus the 50% added on. So this 1,150 is in actuality 115%. 100% before plus the additional 50% is 115%. Hopefully that is clear, because this concept is that what we will use to further solve this problem. Now, a VAT inclusive price is this, the 150. Now, this 1,150 is our VAT inclusive price, right? The VAT inclusive price is not what we had originally. What we had originally is 100%. When we add in a 50% VAT, we get excess of 100%. So this problem, $2,200 already has VAT of 10%. So our price before was 100%. Then we had to add in the 10%, the VAT. So this price is 110%. Now, if somebody wants a VAT exclusive price, price before VAT, etc., they want the 100% cost. Hopefully you guys are following. They want the 100% cost of what it was before, right? 100% is what you had before, the initial something, before you added on something. So we have a price of $2,200. We added on, sorry, this price here has VAT. So the cost it was before, whatever it was before, after VAT is added, it gives us this. So this price is 110%. So this VAT inclusive price is 110%. Now we want the price before VAT. And if we can remember, the price before VAT is 100%. No, when we deal with percentage, 100% of something. Like, I'll draw back the barbecue pizza again. 120%. And then we had somebody give us a half. So this is 50%. So the two pieces together was 150%. But of what? Right? 150% of a BBQ pizza. Right? A whole 100%, a whole pizza plus 50 is of a BBQ pizza. The original thing. The original thing was a BBQ pizza. So when you add in the extra plus the excess of the original thing. So similarly here. This, now we don't know what it was before, right? So this 110% is of what? Is of the price before VAT. Before, or we can call X 100% of X. And X is the price before VAT. Right? This price here, the 100, we already established how we got 110%. Is X 100 to what we had before. X is 110% of the original something with the barbecue pizza and so on. Now we need to know what is the 100%. 100% being the original cost of the item. Now you commonly hear you need to find what 1% is before you can find 100% of whatever it is. So we need to find 1% of 1% has some value of money, right? Right now, this is 100% and 10% of something. Hopefully, I don't lose you guys. When we can find 1%, we can then multiply by 100 to get 100%. Now, we'll use this to calculate our 1%. So they say 1% is equal to 110. I don't know if you follow there. Because this is 110% of something. So if we could divide it by 110, we can get 1% being some value of money. 1%. And let's plug this in a calculator. That would be $20. 1% is equal to $20. Now, 100%, this here can get really confusing, is equal to $20 times 100. Because we know $20 are 1%, so 100 times 1% will give you 100%. And that would give us $2,000. And that is our price before VAT. And we can work it back to check it. Our price before VAT is $2,000. Right? We want to add in a sales tax of 10%. And when we find our price before VAT and we add it back, we should get our VAT inclusive price. This then gives us $2,000 plus $200. And finally, $2,200. And it's this exact concept we're using when you're given a VAT inclusive price and asked to find the VAT exclusive price.